Hey everybody, this is Andrew from T is for Tech, and in today's video I have another of these kind of lower priced laptops to review on the channel. This one is from a company called BHWW, and this is what they're calling their BaseBook. And basically what this is an Intel Celeron N5095 based processor. So that is Intel Celeron chipset processor, and the newer generation of the N5095. Now I have done some other videos on the channel with these kind of, I wouldn't say budget laptops because they're actually really well featured and well provisioned from a hardware perspective, but they are less expensive, right? So these things all run around $300. This one, I believe, runs around $300 as well, and it gives you a compelling value for that money. So we take a look here. This is the 16 gigabyte version, and it has a 512 gigabyte SSD. There are versions that have 256 gigs up to a terabyte and then up to 32 gigs of RAM. I have the mid-spec one here at 16 and 512. And as you can see, this is the BHWW BaseBook. It's the WH156B, which is a 15.6 inch display. The specs there. This is a DDR4 memory, and this is space gray. So I will talk about the specs as I open this, but basically that's what it is. I will go ahead and open the box. I already cut the little piece off there, and we'll take it out. So this is the shipping box. And what I already like about this is that it comes in a nice box. This kind of looks like a MacBook box, if you ask me, right? So, pretty cool. BaseBook, start from base, balancing performance and value, BaseBook. And, has a little bit more information there. But I'm already liking the presentation for being a budget laptop. Now this does come in a couple colors. This is showing more of that silver color, but the one I got is in space gray. So we'll see if it's like the Apple space gray or what, but I'm assuming it'll be similar. So you have the laptop there, and then basically have your AC charger here. Again, decent presentation, user manual, some small information, a warranty card and things like that in there. Now this does also come with a mouse, which I thought was pretty nice. So just a standard 2.4 gigahertz wireless mouse. It's got a power switch here. You got your little dongle in there. It takes a AA battery. And this is just plastic, but nice little feeling mouse. That's nice. You don't really see many laptops that provide a mouse with them, so kind of view that as an added bonus. And then you have the power adapter, basically standard kind of laptop power adapter wall plug, and then you have a barrel jack that plugs into the actual laptop. So right off the bat, this feels really pretty nice. I don't know if I can get this to focus. It's got a little, I probably got some fingerprint smudges on there. BHW or BHWW logo there, the kind of like double overlay, kind of like a chrome finish. And then you have the laptop itself. Now this seems to be a combination, it's hard to tell. Yeah, it's all plastic. I believe it's all plastic. Although this top plate might be aluminum. No, I think it's plastic. But we'll take a look at it real quick. So slim looking case. It does kind of have this little bevel on this edge here. But over here you do have the power plug. You have USB Type-C, HDMI, USB there. You have a Kensington lock. In the front, you do have a little bit of a lip here to pull it open. On this side, you have a SD card slot, a USB 2, another USB 3, and then you have the RJ45. there that kind of just opens up, so you can plug in plug it in. So it's kind of one of those slim ones. You just open it up, and a headphone jack. Now, if we look at the bottom, you have a pretty big vent here, big rubber foot on that side, a couple additional rubber ones here, and what it looks like probably downward facing speakers on either side. So overall, I mean, it feels pretty good. So I do like the look of this. As you can see on the top, there's a few little rubber standoffs so that, you know, when you close it, it doesn't smash the screen against there. You can see here there is a built-in privacy shutter on the webcam, which is kind of cool. And then it kind of has this little bit of a jut. I can't tell if you can see that, but the top of this webcam thing bumps up just a tiniest bit there. BaseBook logo, and then you have a couple LED indicators there for power, caps lock, number lock, and then a standard keyboard that looks very much like a MacBook or any kind of other Windows machine that has those like chiclet type keys. Yeah, they feel pretty good. There's not much give, and it's pretty sturdy. Maybe a little give in the middle. That's one thing I noticed on some other lower budget laptops is like when you press on it, it has like it flexes a lot. This one doesn't seem to do that. This one seems pretty nice. Nice big trackpad here. Has a positive feel when you click on the bottom. This does have a full number pad, as you can see. This is a little bit interesting how they did this for the US spec keyboard. Must be because in other countries there's the bigger enter key. So they might shift that around, but basically enter key here, and then you've got your pipe backslash there. Top row function keys with their alternate windows, you know, brightness, speakers, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so overall, looks nice. Now you will notice here, it looks like there's speaker holes. I don't know if you can see that, but these are just screen printed on there for looks, I guess. So there are no speakers on the front. The speakers are underneath. Okay, so BHWW says brilliance, harmony, worldwide wisdom. So while that boots up, I'll just kind of go over the specs a little bit. When I was researching a little bit more about this company, their goal is really to make high quality laptops that are accessible to everyone, basically empowering individuals to excel in their studies and careers, right? So this is not targeted to be a gaming laptop or some sort of high performance laptop from that perspective. It's more geared towards students doing coursework, working, traveling, studying, obviously entertainment, you know, watching videos, YouTube, Netflix, all those sorts of things, streaming videos. Probably you can do some light gaming, but that's really not the target market for this. Now, this would also be great for folks at businesses where, you know, doing office tasks, work sort of things, Microsoft Office as well. So Excel, Word, PowerPoint, those sorts of things, internet activities, right? So if you're on your computer, you know, using web applications for work and that sort of thing, this is also where this would come in pretty handy. Now, I hit the Windows startup screen here, and I will do this and set it up after this, because I will go ahead and record some specs tests, right? Some basic benchmarks, test the SSD speed, test the, you know, just do some PC benchmarking, that sort of thing, kind of navigate around, maybe do some web browsing and streaming just to show you how responsive it is and all of that. But this does have Windows 11 Home. Like I said, Intel Celeron N5095 up to 2.9 gigahertz. From a speed perspective, I'll have to check the base speed, and I'll put that on the screen here as well, but the boosted speed is up to 2.9 gigahertz. Now, this also does have Intel UHD graphics, 16 gigs of DDR4 memory, like I said, 512 gigabyte PCIe SSD, so you should get some pretty good speeds there. And I forgot to mention, that is a 2 megapixel. I think I forgot to mention, that's a 2 megapixel webcam. You can also see a couple holes up there. I believe those are the microphones. And at some point we'll do a webcam test as well. I'll record myself, see what the quality looks like. 802.11 AC, so dual band, 2.4, 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, has Bluetooth 5. I went through the ports already. Dual stereo speakers, as I mentioned. It has a 7.6 volt, 6,000 milliamp hour battery. So they're saying this can last basically between 10 and 12 hours of use, or 10 and 11 hours of use. And it can charge 36 watts Type-C and the DC charging. So you can charge this with the DC plug, or you can charge it with Type-C. Like I said, 15.6 inch IPS display, has a 178 degree viewing angle, so side to side, 178 degrees. I'm sure it's hard to tell on the camera, but in the room, it looks pretty good no matter what angle I'm looking at it. That is 1920 by 1080 resolution, 0.6 inches thick, and 3.4 pounds in weight. This does basically also go pretty much perfectly flat. So for whatever reason, if you want to have your monitor all the way flat down, you can do that. But then it obviously adjusts any range in between. And there is a little bit of flex here because, you know, this is a plastic enclosure, so you'll get a little flex, but generally it feels pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead, set this up, log into Windows, and then the next part of this video, I'll show some of the performance tests, some of the different things, navigating the interface. I'll record the screen so that you can see that. I'll do some typing and things like that and give you my feedback there. So really kind of done with the unboxing portion of this, and I'm pretty happy. I mean, it looks really nice. I mean, I like the color, definitely. It feels kind of premium, even though it's made out of plastic. Even though it is about $300, it looks like it costs more than that. So let's jump on over to the computer and see how this performs.
So right off the bat here, I did run a Crystal Disk Mark, and as you can see, this got pretty good speeds on the read and write, which shows that this is a PCIe SSD, and it's pretty quick. So for all intents and purposes of daily usage, you should have no problems with read-write speeds and all of that from a performance perspective in this laptop. And then with Geekbench, it got 491 and 1415 for the single-core, multi-core scores. You can see the single-core performance here as I scroll. Same thing with the multi-core. And I mean, again, this is not a lightning-fast gaming machine or anything like that, but this is adequate for everyday tasks like I mentioned earlier on in the video. And then on the OpenCL GPU score, it got a 1795. So just go ahead and look at this if you care. And then I did run a Passmark benchmark test, and you can see here, like globally in the world, this got a 1010, which is in the 9th percentile of all the computers that have been performance tested. But obviously, this is a lower end CPU, and you know it's kind of right in there with other ones that I've tested with Passmark that have like the N5095 or those kind of Intel processors in this range from a mini PC or budget laptop perspective. But as I noted before, you can see the DiskMark score is at the 51st percentile. So again, it does have a pretty quick SSD. And then here I just loaded PowerPoint, and I'll also show Word really quick. And as you can see, I mean, it's pretty performant. I just loaded a template and kind of flipping through the different slides in the template, and it performs fine. Right? Like very much could be used in this productivity business school scenario, like I mentioned before. And as you can see also, like the interface is pretty snappy when I'm clicking around to, you know, different apps and in the system start menu and things like that. And the typing here has nothing to do with the computer. I just wasn't used to the layout. And then here I'm just loading YouTube, and I'm going to search for my channel so I don't get a copyright strike on playing stuff, just to see how the streaming works on this.
Hey everybody, this is Andrew from TS for Tech, and today I have another lightsaber to look at. I know I've reviewed a couple lightsabers on the channel in the past, so these are all from any of the movies, but this is a lightsaber.
And then I'm just skipping around in the video.
So you can take a look at that. Then I'll jump over and show you some of the effects in the dark.
So overall, streaming normal 1080p video on YouTube, it works pretty well. I did try a couple 4K streams, and then it was a little bit more taxing on the machine, and the fans spun up and things like that. But for 1080p content, normal consumption, Netflix and all of that, it should work well.
Hey everybody, this is Andrew from TS for Tech. I'm just testing the webcam in this BaseBook laptop from BHWW. Now, I set this up, I'm just using the camera app in Windows 11 to record this using the microphone and the webcam that's built into the machine. And the room I'm in is pretty well lit. I've got a bunch of ceiling lights up there, and generally this works well with other webcams that's on my main computer. And so I mean, this one does look a little bit fuzzy, and I don't know if it's just the preview. And fuzzy, I mean like grainy, due to the light. Now there is a little bit of lens flare, I think, from the lights on the ceiling there. As you can see, some artifacts on the screen from that. But overall it looks okay. So I mean, it's not super sharp. That might have to do with the light. But this is probably adequate for, kind of a Zoom meeting sort of thing, or a Teams meeting or something like that, if you had it for school or if you needed to use it for work. Now, what I don't know is what the sound quality is on the microphone, so we'll have to see when I listen back to this, when I put it into to do editing. I'll see what that looks like. I do have a light here. No, that doesn't really. Well, that maybe helps a little bit on my face. But I do have a front-facing light that's part of my webcam on my monitor to get a little fill light in. As you can see, there's a little bit now of a shadow on my face. It doesn't really change the overall picture, obviously, but it gives a little bit more light on my face. So that's something to consider with this as well, if you want to get one of those little clip-on ring lights or something like that that are maybe provide a little bit more light for the camera. But looks like overall, not too bad. Kind of what I would expect from a 2 megapixel webcam. It looks pretty responsive when I move. There's no real lag there. So yeah, so overall, this one is pretty decent, and I think it would probably be adequate at this budget level, at this price level, for whatever you would need to use a webcam for. So let's hop back on over to the rest of the review.
So hopefully that gives you a good idea of how this laptop should perform and the use cases that are best for it. Like I said, being for a student or being for a work environment and all of that. This is the Amazon listing, and right now it's on sale for $279, but that will fluctuate up and down a little bit depending on when this video is posted. The price might be different. But overall, I think for a $300 range budget laptop, you get a lot for your money here, just with regards to storage, the overall screen quality, the laptop itself, and all of the features. It's something you should definitely take a look at if you're in the market for something like this. And depending on when you're viewing this video, right, today is November 23rd, I'm going to be posting a contest, a giveaway contest, so that you can get one of these BHWW laptops sponsored by BHWW. It will be a silver version, same specs. So definitely head on to the description of the video to find out the link for the contest and all of that. And good luck. This is Andrew from T is for Tech. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.